All right, guys. Hello. For those who don't know me, my name is Cherra, and I'm going to lead this call for chapter 13 and 14. Chapter 13 was the law of the picture, which I actually really liked this one. I went and read the chapters first before even watching the videos on this one for this. But it's about people do what they see. And if you think about areas through your life, that is so true. Not even just through Plexus. I mean, this could be your full-time job. This could be at home as a parent. It could be, you could probably come up with all kinds of different ways, but people do what they see. And as leaders, we set the tone for our teams. You know, for an example, if you don't go do the scary things, your team might not go do the scary things. If you don't reach out to people, your team's probably not going to reach out to people. I mean, there's all kinds of examples we can do just for Plexus or, you know, throughout your life for anything else. One of the questions that Brittany did ask that I want to throw out there and have us as a team to think about is she asked, what would happen to your business if the people on your team are only doing what you are doing? What would your business look like? You know, that's something to think about, you know, and that kind of hit me. So I'm like, oh, wow, okay. If people are only doing what I'm doing, then I need to step it up. And maybe I need to do more to grow my business and to help my team grow themselves. And that's not to say that, you know, as a leader that we're perfect, because we're not. We don't know everything. You know, that's part of being a leader is you grow yourself. You're going to go do trainings. You help your team grow. We all make mistakes, and it's okay to tell your team you make mistakes because you're human too. One of the things in here also she had said was, or actually this one is in the book. I don't remember if she said it in the video or not, but it said, vision without action is nothing. Vision without action is nothing. As leaders, we need to cast vision for our teams. If not, then you know our teams don't have nothing to follow. Yourself don't have you don't have anything to follow. That's what helps us as leaders too. As leaders, we have to help our team see the vision. Most of the time, our team doesn't see that vision. They don't think like you do yet. Not to say that they won't, because you're going to help them get there. But at maybe their moment in their season, they don't think like that. So you have to kind of help with casting that vision for them. And what's best, and they don't know what's best for the team like you do. A lot of times leaders, we see to the future more than what they do. And it's our job to kind of help cast them through that. We have to communicate it clearly. Although communication is important, it isn't always enough. As leaders, we have to live the vision. Just like I said before, people do what they see. If as leaders, we're not living the vision, our team's not going to live that vision either. There was some in the book, they went over some modeling insights of a leader. And one of those was followers are always watching what you do, which goes in sense with the whole people do what we see. You know, example, just kind of like I said before, as being a parent, you know, we can sit here and tell our kids, don't do this, don't do that. And we get frustrated because they still go and do things, but they're doing what we're doing. You know, I know I'm guilty of saying this a lot of times too. Do as I say, not as I do. And that kind of goes along with this too, because your kids are watching you just like your team is watching you. Or, you know, you might have people out there watching you post on Facebook, but aren't commenting. You know, we're all used to that, right? Not commenting, not doing all that, but they're still watching you. And you might be even helping those people learn a new skill or learn to do other things and have no idea that you're doing that just because you are being a leader for your team. Another one is it's easier to teach what's right than to do what's right. That goes along with the do as I say, not as I do type scenario. We should work on changing ourselves before trying to improve others. And that one was kind of huge for me too, because a lot of times you're like, well, I don't want to think of myself first, you know, especially as moms. You think of your kids first, right? You don't think of you first, when in reality, we kind of do need to think of ourselves first, because if we aren't healthy, if we aren't to our best, we can't be the best for them. And that kind of goes along with your teams too. You want to make sure that you work on yourself. That could be, you know, through learning new, going through trainings, you know, doing the scary things, coach a call, you know, or something, just to build yourself up. Then once you get there, you can help teach your team and help coach them to build up to the way you are. Then the fourth one was the most valuable gift a leader can give is being a good example. We can use that along, and it kind of, they all go along together. We got to be, we are the leaders. We are the front line. What we do matters on how the rest of our team is going to grow, the rest, how we're ourselves are going to grow. All that matters is on how we lead. If you want a successful team, then you've got to be successful yourself. Okay, so I have a question, and this was in the book. I'm not sure if it was in the recording or not, but one of the questions is, what is the most important trait that you look for in your leader? Because we all have leaders too. So you guys can answer in the chat, or you can just pop on. What is the most important trait that you look for in your leader? Anybody? What's something you were, think of your uplines, you know, your leaders that you're looking up to. What's something important that you see in them that you want to carry on into your teams? Committed to growth and excellence. Yes, it's good. Trust is a big one. Very good. Well, in the book, they did a survey, and leading by example was 26%. Strong ethics and morals, 19%. Knowledge of the business was only 17. Fairness was 14. Overall intelligence was 13, and recognition was 10. So again, leading by example, being that leader, showing up, and being there for your team. It goes with the people do what they see. So leadership is more caught than taught, just like we do what other people do on that. I'm going through this really fast. I am so sorry. One thing that I know kind of stood out to me, and I kind of challenge you guys to do this. You don't have to do this here, but do this, you know, sometime this week. Put this down as one of your challenges. And I want you to list this. What are 3 to 5 things you wished your people did better than they currently do now? I just want you to list 3 to 5 things. Then once you get that list, I want you to grade yourself on the performance of those 3 to 5 things. And if you really wanted to, you could grab somebody on your team to grade you also, just to see how your scores compared to their scores. And then you could see kind of where you need to work maybe on yourself. Because like if your scores are too low, you might need to change something in your behavior. If your scores are too high, maybe you need to make an example more visible to other people so they can get that growth too. Anybody have any inputs on that chapter? Like I said, I'm going really fast. I'm sorry. I expected that to take a little longer.
No, you're good. I think that it was powerful to see the examples of the percentages, because I think sometimes we think of different things and then realize like actually leading by example, because then you know what to follow, you know what to lead with and go with. And if they're not doing the action, then you're not going to do the action. If you can't, I put trust, if you can't trust them by leading by example, if they say they're going to do these things and then they don't, I feel like, anyway, I really, really liked the percentages, because I feel like sometimes we try to do above and beyond and even more. And it just shows that, some of these things are the recognition and trying to get all these graphics and everything out, when really, yeah, recognition is huge, but the other things are more important. So.
Right. Exactly.
I commented about this above, but I'll chat about it too. Starting to realize from this chapter that everything we do is painting the picture to others of what it looks like to work this business and do it well, including people who aren't on your team or aren't a customer. They're watching your journey and they're recognizing your example. And this was very true for me. I watched Jessica Heffley, who's one of our uplines, and she's a 9-star diamond, which is like, has developed 9 other people on her team to be jewels. And I was watching her post several times a day. I was watching that she was very boldly recording live videos, going out and setting up meetings with people in her town, reaching out and starting conversations with people about Plexus, earning like trips with Plexus. I was watching all of this long before I considered myself a candidate to do this business. But that was all painting the picture for me. So I also just think this is very applicable, even if you don't have a team of workers, yet, that people are still seeing you show up daily. And then the other thing I was going to add is that since I've been in the business for 7 years, there are things that I think I'm doing well. And then when I sit back and look at, I realize, oh, I was doing that well like a year ago and I'm not doing it well right now. And so like a classic example is posting. I love posting and I have been a great poster. And so I think I view myself as a great poster, but I signed up a friend to work the business in the last couple of months. And I was like, why is she like never posting? She posts like once a week. And then I realized like, oh my God, I am posting like once a week. And like, she has no example but me. And she probably thinks that's how I got to Diamond. And that is not how I got to Diamond at all. I'm just happened to be in a very different season of life. I've got more kids, husbands in residency, and I had let that slip. But I was realizing, it was convicting to me that that's the example I'm setting for her. And that's what she's turning around and doing. And that is not going to get her climbing the ranks. So yeah.
Yes, totally. That's a great example of that. That's what I love about a lot of our calls too, is yes, we're here for a business for Plexus, but it can also help us outside of Plexus. Even for me, if some don't know, I coach high school cheerleading too. So I'm a leader there for the young students, young ladies. So I really enjoy learning a lot of this stuff, because it not only helps me here, but it helps me there too, along with home. And just like she said, posting online to people who not even doing Plexus, it paints that picture. But yes, I like that. That's great. So next chapter, anybody else before I move on? We're good. All right. The next chapter, chapter 14, was the law of buy-in. And on this one, it kind of made me think too. I didn't even think of it in this sense. People buy into the leader than the vision. And, all the time, we're always saying, let's help cast a vision. What's your vision? We say this a lot, and it didn't dawn on me that, hey, the reason why maybe somebody might not be staying with me longer than a month is because I wasn't being a strong leader. It wasn't something they could buy in. Yeah, they might have bought into the quick vision that they seen, but they're not going to stay because I didn't paint a good picture of or be a good leader. So they could buy into me for that. So my question for you guys, I want to start out on the vision part of it, is how important is vision to you? How important is vision to you? And I know if some of you are new, just think of it doesn't even have to really deal with like plexus. You could I know for me, I'm a goal setter. I'm someone who likes to look ahead anyways. I don't only just set goals or visions for my plexus business. I also do them for my life. So how important is vision to you even in that? Could be anything. You can either pop on or you can put it in the chat. I usually do this on my phone, so it's kind of nice to see the chat on the side. Now I'm doing it on the computer. I might have to do this more. Okay, to me, the reason vision is important to me is because it shows me where I need to go or my team needs to go. It paints that, like Carissa said, it paints that picture. Before Plexus, I was not practiced in envisioning my future, dreaming big, etc. Plexus and this team truly woke me up. Yes, I'm dreaming and growing. People perishing with no vision. Bible. Yes. I think it's everything if you don't know where you're going and you can't take the day-to-day step. Exactly. So, Cassie, I'm just asking, how important is a vision to you?
I really liked that makes sense because like with Carissa's, I felt like before I was just living life. There was no vision. It was like, okay, I have 2 small kids. I'm just going to survive and we're just going to go day by day. And, when I painted my sign business, it was like, oh, maybe one day, but it wasn't a true vision. And I feel like here I can actually see the vision happening. Might not be tomorrow, but it's going to happen. It's coming down the line where I feel like Plexus gives us that bigger vision and goal to really shoot for.
Exactly. I think having a vision for a personal life is so crucial for finding a vision for your business that will actually drive you. Exactly. So leaders have to build credibility first. It doesn't matter the vision. Even though we all have these visions, it doesn't matter if we don't have that credibility. And for me, I found myself, this is a mistake I made. I found myself at the beginning, I wanted that rank. That rank was my thing. I wanted to hit that rank. I'm very competitive. I want to hit it. That's my goal. I want to hit that. Instead of being showing credibility to my team or building those relationships first, I was more on the sign, and then they didn't say. And I'm like, well, I'm getting frustrated. Well, why? Well, it's because I'm thinking of numbers first. I'm putting, that first and not loving on my team, building that credibility, together. So that was one of my mistakes that I had learned, and it took me a little bit to figure that out. But now I'm finally figuring that out. I'm building those relationships, and I have people that stay a lot longer. So people have got to buy into you before that vision. Once they buy into you, most generally, they're going to buy into your vision and help boost your vision and help build your team. Team's going to just get bigger and stronger, and you're going to grow. If you want to recruit others for the business, you have to sell you. Yes, we have products, but and that's okay. It's okay to sell products. We have product takers, and that's totally okay. But if you want others for the business, you're selling you. So what you're posting on Facebook and stuff like that, you want to think of what you want to see as a leader for yourself. Who would work great with you. You need to post that out there. Sell yourself. Okay, so
Wait, I was going to say something and I was chewing, so I was going slow.
go ahead.
But that really resonates with me because I remember my first year when I finally caught the vision, because I didn't quite have the vision when I first joined, but when I finally caught the vision, it stuck with me that the people who are successful influencing, selling, things like that, they're not so much making you want their product, making you want their life. And so you want their life, and therefore you're looking at everything they have like, well, maybe I should buy the jeans she buys or drink the coffee she buys or take the vitamins that she takes, And so that stuck with me that like, we're embodying a life of like health and community, friends, healthy family relationships, like all of those things that we are. And even if we don't have it all together, we are showing that we're striving for those things, that we're growing in those areas. And that's one of the ways that people then want what she's having, kind of thing.
Exactly. So how important is it for you to have the right leader to follow, and why? It's my question for everybody. How important is it for you to have the right leader to follow, and why? Comment below or in the comments, or you can talk. Anybody?
I feel it's very important because like the person that I signed under, she doesn't really work the business as much. So I didn't really have anything to follow. So if it wasn't because Cassie reached out to me and I kind of like already like kind of wanted to see what the business side was. So seeing her then and watching her, then I started, okay, I still haven't perfected it yet. I'm still a work in progress, but I just feel that it's very important because she wasn't showing or doing what I needed to do. So it's kind of like that, monkey see, monkey do, I guess. I hate to use that, but so I think it's very, very important that, you have somebody to like look up to. Yeah.
Exactly. It's good. I kind of like the scenario on the call when he was talking about being the pace car. The leader was the pace car, which, by the way, bogs my mind that Brittany has no idea what NASCAR is. But anyway, I was like, wait, what? But anyways, yeah, the pace car. A leader is kind of like your pace car. And I like Carissa's answer that she had posted on here. I alone am responsible for my success, not my leader. But having a leader who challenged me makes me think differently and sets the pace, raises me up higher. Exactly. And that's so true. You are responsible for you. Again, you're selling you, not your leader. But a leader is someone that you could, if you need to go to talk some stuff out, to help guide you and help you with that. It's super important because we'll need direction at some point to move forward on a journey. Exactly. Kind of like the role of a husband. Very true. Very true. So another question. Why might you stay with a leader? This one kind of touched me, so I wanted to ask to see what you guys had thought of too, because my answer was a little different than what they all started coming up with. Why might you stay with a leader whose vision begins to depart from what it was when you started following them? Why might you stay with a leader whose vision begins to depart from what it was you started following them? Because you started following them for a bit, they had a vision for you, and it changed. Why might you stay?
The first thing I think of is that if they're on a growth trajectory, their vision is going to change for the better. And so if I am growing and I see that they're growing, then I'm going to be aligning with the ways that I see them growing. So like the example that comes to my mind is when I first joined Plexus, Jessica's big thing was that like she only shops on the clearance rack, like she only shops at Walmart. And so she was not in this for the money. She was trying to get her family out of debt and help a lot of people, but no way was she in this for the money. Well, then over the years, she started growing in the area of money mindset, and she started realizing there is nothing wrong with becoming wealthy. People who become wealthy can help exponentially more people. They can do exponentially more good in the world for the kingdom. And so she was really growing in the area of mindset surrounding money. But in the beginning, like her whole thing was like, I don't care about Alexis, I get my flip-flops at Walmart kind of thing. So that's one just tangible example I think of where if I align with that person on a core values level, integrity wise, and I see that they are on a growth trajectory and that the vision is changing in the direction of growth, then I can usually get on board with that. And oftentimes it's challenging me to grow in some of those ways too.
Yes. So see, that's where my mind went too with it. It's exactly how my mind went. Because if my leader is growing for the good, of course her vision is going to change. It's going to get better and bigger. And same with me. I'm going to be doing the same thing. So yes, that's where my mind went when that question was asked first. Anybody else have come up with something else when that was first asked? Yes, exactly, Taylor.
I agree with Taylor for that, because like for some of us that their leader fell off and they're not there any longer. I think if your vision was so strong before that, or even you saw it, you had that cast of vision and whatnot, you're going to keep growing and keep leading and keep going in that direction. You're not going to fall and follow that as well. So I agree there.
Very true. Great answers. So another question. This chapter kind of had more questions come up for me than the other one. The other chapter kind of made me think, oh yeah, do as people are going to do as you do. This one was a lot more questions, and plus I feel like the more we as a team, because all of us are somewhere on the team together, talk it out, we all might see stuff differently. So this is great for us to interact with each other and see what everybody else's opinions are, how they see it. How do you get others to buy into you? How do you get others to buy into you? Because you want them to buy into you so they can buy into the vision. How would you do it? What do you do now? I see several typing, so I'm waiting. Sorry. Tiffany, yep, you always have to be genuine and true to who you are. Exactly. You can't do my journey the same as anyone else because I am my own person. Yes. Be authentic. Yes, Patricia. Great. Believe others buy in with actions and being vulnerable and real with people, have relationship with people. Carissa, conduct myself with confidence. Yes, make sure I know what I'm talking about so I can speak with authority. Don't backpedal on important things. Be bold and stand for things, not be vanilla or too worried about people pleasing to speak up for what's right. Yep. You make your life attainable, relatable, inspiring. People want to grow, but also want to feel like they can do it too. Exactly. Yep. And that kind of goes along with, earlier too, when I said, we're not all perfect as leaders. We're going to make mistakes. But yes, you do want to make sure that you are confident in what you're saying and not backpedaling or painting a fuzzy picture. We don't want to paint a fuzzy picture because then people aren't going to trust you and want to follow or buy into you. So one more question I have. Yes. One more question I have to make you think too is, why do you lead? Why have you chosen to be a leader? What do you think? Me, I kind of, for Plexus wise, I kind of fell into it, even though I feel like, so I'm a red. So like to, everything's got to be like organized and schedule person. And so I kind of feel like that falls into being a leader. But I also have some roadblocks in front of me that I've got to work on personally as a leader that I need to get over with. So I can grow myself a little more and feel more confident as a leader. But I kind of feel like I fell into it for the business part of it, but I really enjoy leading like my cheerleaders and helping them grow and not, grow as themselves as they become young adults. And a lot of people think cheerleading is just kind of like rah, rah, rah. Well, really, as cheerleaders, they have a higher expectation that they've got to hold up to compared to other people. And we're growing leaders in cheerleading because they've got to stand up and be leaders themselves. Right. Taylor said, I think I fell into it too. I did choose learning about leadership and chose to do hard things to get over humps. But if you would have asked me 6 years ago, if I was a leader, I would have said no. And I am now. Exactly. Yep. We got to learn. We're not born leaders. We're taught, or you can learn as a leader. So that's great. She had a lot of self-reflection questions out there too, that I hope everybody kind of set back and wrote them down for yourself so you can reflect on yourself and see the areas maybe you need to grow as a leader. I'd really look down those 3 to 5 things that I said from the other chapter and just score yourself just to see, just give you a thought of maybe where you need to. And I mean, do the scary thing and have a teammate score you and see where you lay in that. So anyways, that's kind of all I have. I know it's short and sweet, but that's kind of what I took away from all of that. Anybody else have anything they want to add or throw in or have questions or? Do the scary things. That's what I want to throw out there. Do the scary things because it really does matter. So, okay. Well, I will guess we will all That was the end of it, actually, wasn't it? So this was
Oh,
it.
no, I'm glad
I
you
got
said something about that. It's not the end.
Okay.
We thought it was 7 weeks, but there are 21 laws, and she has uploaded 3 more videos to get through the final 6 laws. So I'm going to lead a week from tonight, and then Cassie and Sherry are going to lead the remaining 2. And I don't know yet which week, but I do know I'm going to lead next week. So we will be back at 8:30 next week to go over the next 2.
Awesome. Yeah, when I was, I actually downloaded the book and I was looking up the chapters. I was like, wait a minute, there are more. But I was like, well, maybe we're only just doing the first 14 right now. Maybe it'll be a 2.0 later.
I know. They just took a while to upload the rest. So since it's Tiffany Watts's first night on this call, Tiffany, we were using the book 21 Laws of Leadership for this content, but Cassie's holding it up, but we're watching a series of videos that another Plexus team who has studied this book recorded. So some are reading the chapters to go along with it, and some are just watching those videos and gathering takeaways from those videos. So we'll communicate privately with those video recordings. We're all just watching them ahead of time and then coming to discuss. So
Awesome. I'm excited because I'm really enjoying this book. So great. All right. Anybody else? Okay. Well, if not, thank you all for letting me lead this, and I hope you all have a blessed night. Bye.